Friends, let us discuss theory of interference bands. Let us derive conditions for occurrence of dark and the bright fringes on the screen in Young's double slit experiment. For the same purpose, let me take two coherent sources. S1 and S2 are the coherent sources. They are separated by distance d near about 2 to 4 millimeter. These are sources sending out waves in this direction. Here is a one screen. Over the screen at the point P, these two waves they interfere. Imagine O is the center of a screen. This is nothing but a screen. O is the center. Let this P point is situated at a distance y from the center of the screen. We say that this distance is y distance. Distance between two coherent sources is small d. Let O is the perpendicular bisector, and that's why this whole distance is divided into two equal parts. This distance is d by 2 and this much distance is again d by 2. Let us draw S1n perpendicular on a screen, S2n perpendicular on a screen. Look at this diagram. At the point P, we have to determine path difference. This distance is large distance as compared to this S1P distance, and that's why path difference is equal to maximum distance minus minimum distance. It is S2P minus S1P. Let us find out this value, that means path difference. Here, in a triangle S2PN, look at this triangle S2PN, it is nothing but right angle triangle, and that's why S2P square is equal to S2N square and Pn square. This distance is nothing but distance between slit and screen. Let be capital D. Here, S2P square is equal to S2N square plus NP square. We know that S2N distance is capital D. S2N distance is capital D. While this Pn distance, it can be written as this OP distance plus ON distance. We know that this ON distance is nothing but d by 2. And that's why this whole distance is y plus d by 2. Here, y plus d by 2 is NP distance. And that's why SP square can be written as d square plus y square plus d square by 4 plus yd. Let this equation is equation first. From another triangle, look at this triangle S1PM triangle. From this triangle, let us determine S1P square. It is also right angle triangle, and that's why S1P square is equal to this S1M square plus Pm square. S1M distance is nothing but d, and that's why it is d square plus this NP distance can be calculated as this whole distance is y, and we know this distance is d by 2, and that's why this Pm distance is nothing but y minus d by 2, and therefore this distance is y minus d by 2. D square plus y minus d by 2 bracket square. Here is the expansion of this bracket and d square as it is. Let me call it as equation second. Now, S2P square minus S1P square is equal to, observe that this d square and this d square gets cancelled. Y square, 0, y square minus y square. Again the d square by 4 minus d square by 4. They again gets cancelled out, becomes 0. And here yd, minus of minus yd, that is plus. And therefore, s2p square minus s1p square is equal to twice yd. Our aim is to find out s2p minus s1p. Look at here, s2p square minus s1p square is equal to yd plus yd, because these gets cancelled out, these gets cancelled out, this gets cancelled out. Yd minus of minus yd is nothing but plus yd, that's why is equal to plus yd. This is nothing but expansion, just like a square minus b square, and we know its expansion a plus b in a one bracket and a minus b in the next bracket. According to the same, here s2p minus s1p in the first bracket, s2p plus s1p in the next bracket is equal to twice yd. Or to solve this s2p minus s1p, and that's why this bracket to the RHS, and here we get s2p minus s1p is equal to twice yd divided by s2p plus s1p. If the distance between slit and the screen is very large as compared to the distance between two sources, and also this capital D is very large as compared to the distance between point P from the center, that means what? Here, if D is very large as compared to small d, if D is very large as compared to the Y, then it is observed that this S2P and the S1P, they near about same. It is exactly equal to capital D. Therefore, this equation tends to S2P minus S1P is equal to twice YD divided by 2D. This gets cancelled out, YD by D. Path difference is nothing but S2P minus S1P. Let it is indicated with the symbol delta L. It is the path difference and is equal to YD by D. If this path difference is equal to n lambda, then we get bright point. And if this path difference is equal to twice n minus 1 into lambda by 2, then we get dark point. Here conditions. First condition as such, the P point will be bright if this path difference is equal to n lambda. If path difference is equal to n lambda, that means yd upon d is equal to n lambda, where n starts from 0, 1, 2, 3 like that. Second condition is, if point P will be dark, we get only when this path difference is equal to twice n minus 1 lambda by 2. That means yd by d is equal to twice n minus 1 lambda by 2, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3 in this way. Means path difference is equal to even multiple of half lambda. Then we get bright point. And when path difference is equal to odd multiple of a half lambda, then we get dark point. The distance between two successive bright fringe or the successive dark fringe, it is nothing but fringe width. Distance between any two consecutive bright point or consecutive dark point, it is called as fringe width or bandwidth. Here is distinguish between constructive interference and destructive interference. We know that for constructive interference, both waves are in phase. That means crest due to first coincides with the crest due to other, or trough due to one coincides with the trough due to other. We get constructive interference. While for the destructive interference, waves are out of phase. That means crest due to the first coincides with the trough due to another, or the trough due to the one coincides with the crest due to other. That time we get destructive interference. In this constructive interference, the resultant amplitude of the two waves is equal to sum of amplitudes of individual waves. That is, A is equal to A1 plus A2. While for the destructive interference, the resultant amplitude of the two waves is equal to difference of amplitudes of individual waves. That means A is equal to A1 minus A2. Here, for the constructive interference, the amplitudes of the resultant wave is maximum. While for the destructive interference, the amplitude of resultant wave is minimum. And for the constructive interference, difference between two waves is an even multiple of half wavelength. That means delta L is equal to twice n lambda by 2, where n starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. For the destructive interference, the path difference between two waves is an odd multiple of half wavelength, and that's why delta L is equal to twice n minus 1 lambda by 2, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. This is about constructive and destructive interference. Let us stop here.